Hello, my name's Kim and I work for the Early Years Alliance. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the characteristics of learning, active learning. The characteristics of learning are the skills that underpin your child or your baby's learning and development. So what do we mean by active learning? Active learning is the motivation behind your child's exploration. While they're actively learning, they are going to be exploring and being interested and fascinated by what they are doing and exploring at that point in time. They're going to gain satisfaction from facing problems and challenges and overcoming them by bouncing back. This skill is going to help them take pride in their achievements, become resilient learners, confident to explore new things, interested in the world around them, and help them to construct new understanding. So let's talk a bit more about how we can support that ourselves. So first of all, it's really useful to pay attention to your child's interests. You might notice as you're out walking that they're spotting different colours on the doors of the houses you pass. Maybe colours are becoming interesting to them. You might notice that they talk about the vehicles that they see on the road. So therefore you will know that they're interested in vehicles and you can harness that interest and give them opportunities to explore that in their play. So for example, if they are interested in those vehicles, you can give them some different vehicles to play with. Small, large, made of different materials. You could extend that by talking about how you could build a track. Painter's tape on a surface is great for that at home if you don't already have a track that your child could explore themselves. But now you know they're interested in cars, you can extend that and keep it exciting and interesting to them by introducing other vehicles. Different types of vehicles they may not have seen before, talking about what they are and what noises they make and what their job is. Also, you could invite them to have a little look at trains as well as cars. So that's a different type of vehicle that moves along the tracks, and introduce vehicles that fly in the air so that you're keeping it interesting and exciting, building upon your child's interests that they've already shared with you. Although it might seem that they don't have the means to communicate, babies can share their interests with you. They can show that they're interested in something by something as simple as an eye gaze. And you can make a collection of those things that interest your child in a treasure basket. So I've got here a box that I had at home. It's made of a soft material, so I know it's not going to hurt them, and it's got an open top so they can see and explore what's inside. So for example, here I've got a collection of different textures. So here's something really soft, something fluffy and smooth. So I'm using some natural materials here too. Something rough. And I've got something crinkly and shiny. Maybe your baby just cannot take their eyes off this. It fascinates them. They want to feel it, touch it, look at it, turn it around in their hands and see what it does in the light. You might notice that this really fascinates them. So maybe you change your treasure basket and fill it with things that are shiny, going with their interests and keeping it exciting and fresh and new for them. So once you've started building on your child's interests, you can then try and help them and support them. It's really good that you let them plan what they would like to do instead of directing their play. But they might, for example, decide they want to build a den today. So you can help them by collecting those materials and building it with them. So they've planned what they want to do, but you're supporting them finding those materials that they need. Allow them to come across problems and work it out themselves. And it's so difficult sometimes when you see your child really frustrated and struggling. But giving them time to have a go at exploring and trying to fix their problems is really important. Obviously, if they are really getting stuck, do step in. But they will, through their active learning, construct this new understanding by overcoming these problems. So, for example, a really good example is building train tracks. So you've probably seen train tracks like this before. And they've got their pieces and they want them to go together, but they just won't go together. So instead of stepping in and telling them what to do, let them explore. Maybe if I turn it upside down, it's still not going together. Maybe they'll turn it round. and realise actually, that goes together. But I am going to encounter another problem here because now my train is not going to run across the track because their track has run out here. So again, there's another problem. They might then work out, if I turn it over, okay, so now this works, check, my train runs along the track, and they've solved that problem themselves. That's going to stay in their mind that when you're building the track, this has to go into the gap and the track has to be continuous for the train to run across it. Then to extend that, you could say, shall we add in a bridge to your train track? So here's my bridge. Now, the problem is here, I can't seem to get this to work. That doesn't seem to work at all. Now, I know that the bit that sticks out has to go in the gap, so I'm going to try it this way round. But then your child will notice that that's really not working either. My train's not going to run along that track. Eventually, by exploring their own ways to overcome these problems, they'll find a different piece and they can try and piece that together. That doesn't seem to work. I'll flip it over. Aha. Now I can join my bridge into my track. So instead of stepping in straight away and telling them what to do, giving that time to explore and work out themselves, they're then embedding that new knowledge into their own minds, and they will then use that again when they build their track next time. So that active learning has happened and they've managed to construct some new understanding. So while your child is participating in their active learning, what you can do is show your interest. So talk along with them what they're doing. I can see you've added in a bridge there. Fantastic. Now your train can go up and down. I wonder what train you're going to pick to play with today. So you're sort of talking about narrating what they're doing. You could also get down on the floor with them, get down to their level to aid that communication and to show that you are sharing their interest. It will help build that really lovely relationship and give them that confidence to participate in that active learning. Also, while you're down there on their level, make sure you're praising what they're doing. So when they've worked out how to attach their piece to their bridge and include it in their track, you could then talk about what they've achieved. Wow, you didn't give up. You tried out your different ideas and worked out yourself how to add that into your track. That gives your child, first of all, they know that you recognise their achievements, but also a sense of satisfaction and a reminder that they've solved a problem themselves, and to feel that pride and satisfaction in their own achievements, which is another really important part of active learning. You can then extend that by reflecting at different times on their achievements. So using photos you've took, videos you've took. Do you remember when you built that train track? Gosh, do you remember how you managed to work that out yourself? And sometimes if they're in a childcare setting, they might also share pictures with you. And that's really nice to talk about what else they've been learning, exploring, the interests that they've participated in, and all the active learning that they've been involved in different settings as well. Those memories just reinforce those achievements that your child has made and reinforces that sense of pride and satisfaction. It's really important just to remind yourself that there's no right or wrong way to do this. But the good starting point to helping your child with their active learning is to make sure that you note their interests. Make sure that you encourage them to explore, build their confidence up to try and bounce back from the challenges that they're going to face, and remind them of the achievements they have made so they can feel that sense of satisfaction. There's lots and lots of ideas on the internet, but you can always head to Family Corner, www.familycorner.co.uk, and also visit our Early Years Alliance videos on our YouTube channel for other ideas of how you can support your child's learning and development at home. Thanks very much, and I will see you again soon.